Do you actually want interest rates to go up? Most people immediately answer no. But what if you're a saver, or you're about to buy bonds, or you're waiting to buy your first home? The truth is that every interest rate change creates winners and losers. In the next 7 minutes, I'll show you exactly who benefits, who loses, and why understanding interest rates could help you make better financial decisions. This video is for general education only and is not personal financial advice. Investments can rise and fall in value, so always consider your own circumstances before making financial decisions. An interest rate is simply the cost of borrowing money. If you borrow money, it's what you pay. If you save or lend money, it's what you earn. Central banks influence interest rates to help manage inflation and economic growth. Commercial banks then use these rates when setting mortgage rates, savings accounts, and business loans. The main reason central banks change interest rates is to control inflation. If prices are rising too quickly, they may increase interest rates. Higher borrowing costs usually reduce spending, helping slow inflation. If the economy becomes weak, they may lower interest rates. Cheaper borrowing encourages people and businesses to spend and invest more. A simple way to think about it is this: higher interest rates apply the brakes. Lower interest rates press the accelerator. Imagine interest rates rise by just 1%. A homeowner may have higher mortgage repayments. That leaves less money to spend in shops and restaurants. Businesses may earn less money, so they delay hiring staff or expanding. Some people postpone buying a house. Others decide to save instead because bank deposits now pay more interest. One small change can ripple through the entire economy. That's why interest rates receive so much attention. Let's start with one of the clearest examples. Higher interest rates usually benefit savers. Banks may increase the interest paid on savings accounts, term deposits, and certificates of deposit. For example, $5,000 invested at 2% earns around $100 each year before tax. At 5%, the same savings earn $250. Borrowers experience the opposite. Higher mortgage repayments and loan costs leave less money available for everything else. Higher interest rates usually reduce the number of people who can afford a mortgage. That often slows demand for housing, but not everyone relies on borrowing. Cash buyers, wealthy investors, and some investment funds may still be able to purchase property. If these buyers remain active while mortgage buyers step back, house prices may not fall as much as many people expect. That's why interest rates are only one factor affecting property prices. Supply, demand, migration, and investor activity all matter too. Growth companies often borrow money to expand. Higher interest rates make that borrowing more expensive. Investors may also place a lower value on profits expected many years into the future. This is one reason technology shares sometimes fall when interest rates rise. On the other hand, companies with little debt or businesses providing essential goods and services can sometimes perform better. People still need electricity, healthcare, and groceries regardless of interest rates. Banks don't always win when interest rates rise. Higher lending rates can increase bank profits, but if rates become too high, fewer people borrow money. Some borrowers may also struggle to repay their loans. Banks can benefit from moderate rate increases, but extremely high interest rates can eventually reduce profits. Bonds are one of the most misunderstood investments. Imagine you own a bond paying 3% interest. New bonds are then issued paying 5%. You might have decided to sell your bond to release capital. Remember, your bond is just a loan, so you want to pass on that loan. Most investors would rather buy the new bond. To attract buyers, your older bond normally needs to sell for a lower price. That's why bond prices usually fall when interest rates rise. The opposite also happens. When interest rates fall, existing bonds paying higher rates become more valuable. One simple rule to remember is this: interest rates and existing bond prices usually move in opposite directions. So who actually wins? If you already own bonds, rising interest rates may reduce their market value. But if you're buying new bonds, higher interest rates often mean better future income. When interest rates fall, existing bond owners may benefit because their bond prices usually increase. However, new bonds will normally pay lower interest, so bonds can be both winners and losers depending on your situation. One final point surprises many new investors. Markets don't wait for the central bank to change interest rates. Share prices and bond prices often move months beforehand. Investors are constantly trying to predict what will happen next. That means markets usually react to expectations rather than today's headlines. Let's recap. Higher interest rates generally benefit savers and people buying new bonds. They usually increase borrowing costs for homeowners, businesses, and many growth companies. Property demand may slow, but cash buyers can still support prices. Existing bond prices usually fall when interest rates rise, and markets often move before central banks make their announcements. Understanding these relationships makes it much easier to understand what's happening in the economy and why different investments perform differently. Subscribe. If this video helped you understand interest rates, consider subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it really helps the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.